Well, there have been a lot of media reports about the fact that David Cho had animosity towards Taiwan, even though he was born in Taiwan as well. So I talked to a professor of East Asian studies in order to understand better what that conflict is between China and Taiwan. And he repeated to me multiple times, it's complicated. He sent me back to 1949, and that is when the Nationalist Party lost to the Communists and many Chinese fled to Taiwan. Taiwan is where the shooter was born back in the mid-50s, and by some accounts he considers himself a bit of a political prisoner of sorts. Now let me take you back to Sunday. This is the booking photo for David Cho, and what we are hearing is that once he was inside of the church, he allegedly chained doors, nailed them shut, anything to keep people inside. And as you know, one heroic physician died that day and 5 others were critically injured. Take a listen to what Christopher Phan's explanation for the shooter's motives might be.
And I've seen in the media, a sort of tendency to frame this as the shooter is Chinese and he committed this violence against Taiwanese Americans, right? So this is a sort of China on Taiwan violence. And as I've explained, this is a lot more complicated than that, right? They're all Taiwanese, all from Taiwan, I should say. But I think that the main issue is not necessarily a geopolitical one. I think this is an isolated and unusual enough incident to not sort of project geopolitics, despite what the shooter sort of has explicitly said about his motivations, but to not project geopolitics, any sort of, China-Taiwan tension onto this incident necessarily, but instead to focus on, again, I think the main issue here is gun control and how the shooter was able to carry this crime out.
All right, so as you hear, he does not want to put a geopolitical spin on it. He says even if you do, that very few kinds of acts of violence even occur when you're talking about this debate between the Chinese and the Taiwanese. He says that under 2% of the Taiwanese want reunification, and only 7 to 8% say that they prefer independence. So it's sort of interesting that it rose rather to this level of animosity. Reporting live in Santa Ana, I'm Susan Hirasuna. Back to you.